Now, why are for sale by owners such a lucrative lead source for real estate agents, especially at a lower level of performance, meaning needing money now, or at a higher level of performance, meaning adding additional lead sources because they're bottom of funnel, meaning that they're ready to transact in the next 90 to 120 days. What they need to decide is who that agent is going to be that they're actually going to list with. And the goal of a for sale by owner, as we review some key stats today, we're going to go through what do for sale by owners find most difficult, as well as though what is it that they're running towards and away from, and a lot of times that's us, is there's three key things that we want to do. We want to build a relationship with them. We want to separate ourselves from other real estate agents. And then from there, we want to be positioned to show them that we have a certain amount of value to help them overcome the challenges that they're running into. So the things that for sale by owners find the most difficult is, number one, preparing their home for sale. Number two is the paperwork. Number three is pricing the home right. And then number 4 and 5 are time frame based, right? Meaning selling within a desired time frame and having enough time to sell, meaning that they have like a full-time job and this is requiring a lot of work. So if we could work on those top 5 as value propositions, meaning could we help them with those things, that could establish a relationship. In fact, finding buyers is actually one of the least difficult things they find. So by offering that, it's something that actually they're not really struggling with as much as some of the others. So again, as we start looking at the challenges that they have, we also understand that only 6% of for sale by owners end up selling on the MLS, whereas well over 90% of all transactions occur within a MLS, is that they're missing out on 90% of the overall pool of real estate agents from a traditional standard practice. And then only 6% of them actually end up finding a way to get into the MLS to sell. So now, knowing that pricing the home is difficult, the interesting component behind that, though, is that they usually believe that they're not going to pay a commission or a certain amount of commission, or they'll negotiate commissions more. But the reality is that almost 80% of all for sale by owners end up paying, all right, a buyer's agent commission. So they're going to end up paying a commission. However, that is most likely what they're trying to avoid by doing for sale by owner, because they don't see the value in the commissions that they're giving. Now, here's a couple interesting facts. As you start looking at for sale by owners, end up usually reducing their price several times. And then when they end up listing with an agent, which 90% of them will. So remember, 90% of these people are going to end up listing with one, which is why we want to position ourselves to separate ourselves from other people and then be there at the time to show them value when their challenges arise that they need one of us. So the interesting part is, though, that when they then list in the MLS, they get only 98%, all right, on that already lower list price. So again, you could see pricing ends up being something difficult for many for sale by owners. And then the other part is, though, that they end up spending a lot more on buyer concessions. So the negotiation aspect, not that they're going to see this, but just stats and realities, is that they pay thousands more in buyer incentives because they are not understanding of all of the tactics and techniques, solutions and services like home warranties and things of that such, all right, that actually can assist in overcoming a lot of the objections with the buyers. So now we also know that they're still going to end up working with an agent. Like we said, about 90% of them will end up working with an agent because they find out it's easier. All right. It takes too long to sell without one. And the paperwork is just a lot more than they thought. And there's more challenges than they want to experience. Now, as we start looking at those, what are the top 5 reasons, all right, why a seller wants to go for sale by owner, and then why do they choose a realtor is the next segment of what we're going to talk about. But right now, the key takeaway is understand, position yourself, all right, separate yourself from other people, and then most importantly, we want to make sure that we're there showing value when the time comes that their challenges arise and they decide they need to use a real estate professional.